Yo, what is going on? JRA Nightmare here, and I'm going to give you my top 5 Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures for 2020. Now these will be figures that were only released in 2020, and I'm not going to put in like Lord Draken Evolution, even though that's a special figure, but we all know that that figure is #1. I mean, let's not kid ourselves, that figure was awesome. And the monsters will not be part of this because I feel like that's their own kind of thing. Even though it is Lightning, I just wanted this to be just the retail figures you can go in there and pick up. Before we get all that, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell button so you get notified anytime I post a new video. And we're going to get into this, so let's kick it off. Top 5. Alright, let's jump right into it. So, at number 5, we have the Ranger Slayer. Now, this figure was a surprise when they announced it. Now, it kind of, you know, they're diving into the comic realm, which we've seen with Lord Draken, so there's only been 2 so far. So this gives me hope that they'll do more comic-based figures, because the comics have a lot of cool stuff in there. But, speaking of this figure, the paint scheme is super nice. The way the black and the pink mesh, it's so cool. The way the two Sword of Darkness comes into one to make the bow, I really like that. That's a cool, and it just executed very well, translating from the comics. Now, the only gripes I have with this figure is they did not give us a alternate head, so it's just a standard, just helmet, and it's, you kind of wonder, like, why would they go that route? You know, it's not like it was a big surprise when this figure was released who the character was. We all know it was Kimberly Hart. Spoilers, you haven't seen Shattered Grid or whatever. But, you know, that was I think a mishap on their half. They should have incorporated an alternate head. Even though I mostly display my figures with their helmets on, still you got to have that option. And the only other gripe I would say is the cape is kind of awkward. You know, it falls off a little easy, but other than that, this is a great figure. Alright, let's keep it going with number 4. We have the Red Ranger Time Force. Now this one, I don't know too much about the character. I didn't follow the Time Force line too well. I've caught episodes here and there. But speaking on the figure itself, I love the helmet. I mean, look at that color scheme. That is too cool. And the fact that he has 2 swords that can combine into one, kind of like Darth Maul's effect, where he has conform into one giant blade. I think that's super cool. He's got the lightning effect that goes with it. So yeah, this one was a surprise. Another gripe I have with it is he doesn't hold the swords too well. I don't know, the hands they gave him, they're kind of weird, but you know, I overlooked all that just because this is a cool looking figure. Alright, let's keep it going. Number 3. Now this might be a biased pick because this is my favorite character. This is the Red Ranger SPD. Now this figure, you know, when it comes to the SPD Rangers, I always look at the whole uniform in general because they have that unique style where the numbers on the side of them. And so if that's executed well, hey, he knocked it out the park. The helmet is too cool. I mean, they killed it with that. The way the visor looks. Now, there is some problems here. I think people have stated that the morpher is a little bit off as far as the color goes, but I don't really notice that too much. My only problem with the figure is there wasn't a place to put the morpher at. They should have had like a little peg at the back so you can plug them in. So again, this is just more the little details that could help this line in the future. You know, getting those little things executed will go a long way. But other than that, they nailed this figure. The Delta Blasters, they connect into one, so that's a cool feature that they had and they added, and I thought they nailed that perfectly. So this is a good figure for number 3. Now number 2, we have the White Dino Ranger. Now this figure had an interesting story. It was a figure that wasn't even announced. It just showed up in, I think it was like Singapore or something, and people were like, is this legit or is this a you know, a custom? And sure enough, it became a figure that was released. It was a Walgreens exclusive. Now the thing was, in the packaging, the box art, the helmet was correct, but when you got the figure, they didn't have the black around where the red is in the visor, and it looked horrible. absolutely horrible. But Hasbro did do a make right. All you had to do was message them on their website, and a couple weeks you got the right helmet. So that was nice that they actually did that. So kudos to them for that. But again, it's one of those missteps that could have been disastrous, because this figure was really sick, but not having that right helmet just ruined it, made it like the worst figure of the year. But other than that, he's got all his weapons. The effect that he comes with, this kind of arrow energy effect, I thought that was really cool. So again, just a dope figure. Had a little bit of a mishap at the beginning, but they corrected it. So shout out to Hasbro for doing that. Alright, and my number one figure will go to the Beast Morphers Blaze. Surprise figure when you get him in your hands. I mean, I don't know too much about this particular line, the Beast Morphers. I have watched here, I've started like the first couple episodes, so I'm going to finish it on. But this figure right here is just solid. He's got a dope helmet. I mean, it's so unique compared to any other kind of Rangers, even though he is the villain. But still, just the color scheme on it. He's got this kind of vest that kind of, you can remove it. It doesn't look right after you remove it, but the fact that it's pliable. He's got the sword. He's got the energy effect. Pretty good head sculpt, I thought, for the unmask. But it's just the whole scheme of him is just super cool. And if you want to, you can army build this guy for like a Cobra Trooper, because he's got that snake kind of vibe. So the helmet is just, they killed it with this one. I'm so surprised, because it's one that I keep seeing on the shelves. You know, the whole Beast Morpher line has been really good. I mean, all these figures came out really well, especially the blue one. I really like that one. But this figure just, as soon as you get him in your hands, you'll be like, okay, I can see why this should be a top figure, because it's so unique. It's got a lot of great execution on it. So just a great figure. Hasbro killed it with this one. So again, hey, that's the top 5 from my figures this year. Alright guys, peace.